Hi everyone and welcome back. So today I'm just going to show you a little bit about what we did yesterday. A few jobs we had going were some seed sowing. We made some other structures for peas and everything, and in the polytunnel Eric also gets started with the bed, so I'll show you what we did yesterday. This morning we're just going to finish that off. We can't do it completely because I haven't got any of those plastic spikes that you put in for weed membrane. I've ordered some. I'm going to have a check, see if we do have any, but I don't think we have. And a couple of other bits and pieces as well. One of the jobs that I did was actually sow some parsnips in the carrot bed just to on this plot. And I'm also going to put some spring onions along the rows and that as well. So I'll show you what we did yesterday, and then I'll come back to you to show you what we're going to do this morning. Hi everyone, so we're on Sunday the 6th of April and we'll come down the plot to put our potatoes in. So we've got Casa Blanca and King Edwards. The King Edwards, last year we put them in around Easter time and over a couple of weeks earlier, but the weather's really nice, so we're going to put these in and then we're going to store them in the polytunnel over the other plot just until we decide how we're going to work the beds out over there. But we'll get these put in. We're going to put like 1 or 2 in per pot, depending on the size of the pot. And I've got some potato fertiliser as well to pop in with them. And then you put 1 on the handle side, 1 on there, and then you cover that. You put a thin layer over there. And then you do the next layer opposite ends. And always put your chits pointing upwards, like that. And there, that'll do. And once the foliage starts popping through, you just layer it up until at least like you get to the top of the pot, and then obviously you've got all your green coming through. So hopefully we should have them through in a few good weeks. So we've got the potatoes in here and Eric's just putting this cardboard down because we're frightened that the weeds are going to come through in this with it being as hot in here. So we'll leave that cardboard for now, and then once we get the wood sorted for the beds, we'll be able to sort that out next week. So I'm just trying to get in and weed this bed a little bit. There's loads of these little green things that look like beetroot. Wish there were beetroot. But you cannot really, I can't get in with any tools like that. I need a little hand tool, I think. I'll be here just trying to hand pick these. But as you can see, all these spikes, these wood chip, I've had to lay them in here to try and prevent the cats from coming and doing their toilet. But Eric actually found one in here where they've dug up, and there was some around this area where that was. So it's kind of like, it hasn't worked, but I don't know what else to do. The only other option will be is to try and net this bed, but then I don't want to have to net things just to keep the cats out. I know you net other beds and stuff to keep pests away from eating your crops and that, but that's the purpose of having these structures, so you can see everything growing, not behind nets. It's just so annoying. It's frustrating. But I'll see what I can do and get these peas put in here. So we've got this metal grate, and when I was saying before that like I didn't want to put a fence around here, I don't want to net this whole bed or anything, so what I might do is put this up. It's got holes all the way through. I'm hoping these canes will go right down. Oh, there you go, see? Right, okay. So if I put it back a bit like that, and then put these canes in, push them quite far down. I will properly in a minute. I'll get the hammer out and then push them further down. And then what I can do is I can grow peas up both sides of this. Now there is another one of these. Another one. So if I've got to, I don't know how, it's quite heavy. So I don't know if these canes, I might have to put longer ones in. Yeah, I might have to put longer ones in and then maybe some on the outside and tie wrap them on so it's a bit more sturdy. But yeah, I think this might work. Make a good pea structure, I know that. I know it's a bit rusty, but I think that'll work, won't it? Well, it'll have to because I want to put it in now. So I've found some longer canes. I'll push these in both sides. I'm not going to do them too far. So I'll put this other one on. It's not sturdy at the minute, but if I get some smaller canes, try and get them the same size, what I can do is put them on the outside and then put some tie wraps in, and then that'll keep it a bit more sturdy on there. So what I'll do is I'll sow some peas on this side. I know it'll be awkward to get in on the other side, but I can get in okay from the back. And I'll probably put some beetroot or something in the back because then I can just let that crack on. Right, I've sowed some beetroot on the other side. I got in that bed and round the back because I'd already put this in place. I've got some tie wraps. I'm just going to try and squash this bamboo down a bit more. And then I'm going to tie wrap wherever they've gone. I'm going to tie wrap these two to the front of it. And then that should stop the cats getting in, hopefully. I know it's a bit... I might have to put one in the middle. To be fair, it shouldn't go anywhere. I've already drilled some holes on the other side of this as well to put some peas in. Oh, I don't know why I did that one up there. I haven't got a... It was a bit silly of me. Right, get the peas. I'm literally just going to put a row of these in. Then what I'm going to do is just stick some more of these in at the front. To help just try and deter the cats coming back. Hopefully. It's like a little fortress in it. Right, so there's me peas and beetroot in. And it looks like I've built some sort of like castle fortress. You've got like the gate at the front, like these two metal bits, and then you've got the two towers at the side. And then I've done loads of reinforcements at the front to hopefully keep all the cats out. I'm going to put some more around that side as well. But yeah, I'm loving this. I hope it stops the cats. So what Eric's just done there is he's cutting some wood up so we can make the beds for the polytunnel. So he's measured out the outside frame. We've got that bit at the back, and he's got the two longest bits of the on either side done. He's just chopping a little bit extra off on the sides because it's going to hit the plastic, and we're trying to avoid that. And then we've got some more to go up the middle to then make the beds in this polytunnel. Hopefully we should have that all done next week. He hasn't brought his hammer down, so we can't like braid the spikes in, but he has made those as well. So hopefully this is something that we'll be able to look at getting finished next week. So I've been quite busy while Eric's been cutting wood and sorting stuff out. I've sowed a row of Sun King sunflower seeds in this bed. That was always my plan, to put the sunflowers there. They're not going to grow very tall, but I think it'll be a lovely addition to this area. On the other plot as well, Eric put in some onions that we had in some plug plant trays that we got from a garden centre last year. Didn't do anything with them, they just died. However, they started growing back. So he's actually put them in one of the raised beds over there. I'll show you in a second. We've put some parsnips, the parsnips that were in that bed that were extra. There's about 10, I think, in this pot. The soil was fine in there. It's just off what we grew for tatties last year. What else have I done? Let's go over and have a look. Oh, so yes, we've put this bunting up as well. It's been in the shed for a long time, so we've just put that up. These are the onions that I mentioned Eric had put in. I don't know what they are. Let's have a look. Oh, they're just red barons. So they're not shallots. But just look how healthy they are. They're great. I've also sown in that line a row of Paris market carrots. I've just sprinkled them in. I normally just sow one per hole, but I thought, now why not give it a go. But all these daffodils as well, they're lovely. And then down here, these are the snowball onions. So if you remember last year in the greenhouse, I put the snowball onions in this polystyrene box thing. It had holes in because it was what I got me jars from. So I put those in and they were doing really, really good. They looked fab, but then they just stopped growing at like, say, a ping pong ball size. And I pulled them out and I put them in a plastic tub and I left them in the crate where I make me tea and coffee. And I noticed just this morning that they were growing. So I was like, right, okay, get them in the ground. Why not? I think with onions, our success hasn't been very good. So I'm hoping that these onions are going to really go good in this bed. And then in the top of this, next to them, is the walking onions that I got from Terry King. Now, there is only 4 out of the 5 that I got, but they look absolutely fab. As you can see, very green and very strong. They look really good in there. So I just thought those onions, they're going to do really good in there, I think. I hope, anyway. These are some chives that I sowed last year. They were done 3rd of April, so over a year ago they were put in. Done nothing with them, they just came back. And then I've put some more Paris Market carrots along here. Again, I've just sprinkled them in and just gently covered them over the top. I want to give them a water while I remember as well. Oh, just while I'm here as well, look at these. This is the elephant garlic that we did last year. It's been in the greenhouse up until last week. But these look great. Absolutely amazing. Them, when were they done? Oh, that's his lettuce. Oh, there we go. 29th September. So yeah, we've got the 2 of those. And hopefully we'll get a good harvest of that in the next few months. Got some more chives in that little pot. They've never been touched or done anything. They just come and go as they please. Here's one for Kerry. More weeds, Kerry. Got some white ones are going on in there as well. And then back over onto this plot. We're having a chat with one of our plot neighbours this morning. He's on about doing his sweet corn because it's quite thick at the minute. He's going to put it in the greenhouse and then he's going to put it outside and also in the next week. Now, we've got beds on this plot that we didn't know what we were going to do with, but we're thinking these 2 beds here closest to the greenhouse, We might put the sweet corn in this first bed, and then we need to top up the soil in that one because that's where I put the tatties last year that didn't do anything. But yeah, I think sweet corn in that one because then it'll help shade a little bit for what's next door. I don't know what we're going to put in that one there. But it's only mini sweet corn, so I think I've got 6 at home and I think they'll just go in that bed. Eric's just finished the frame in the polytunnel, so
Still got my fingers.
Still got his fingers, yeah. Just. Well, saying that, it's a good job the ambulance is on the way.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go and see what the bed's like in here. So there we go, there's the frame laid out and everything. So once those spikes go in and around, we're thinking about digging the trench out on the floor because of the height that we've lost from how much we put in the ground. But to be fair, this is not going to go anywhere if we get any winds, hopefully. So we've laid the membrane. I haven't got any of the plastic stakes, but it doesn't matter. The wood is going to act as a brace for that. I have made it a little bit higher than what you can see along the sides of the wood at the minute because we're going to make the bed too high. So I've got the spade. There is a piece of wood there and here, but I've rolled that back because we're actually going to dig a trench out so we can step down into this. Now, I know you know that we hate digging, but it has to be done because we put this like a foot and a half deep and we've lost the height. I'm okay, I can stand in it and not touch the roof, but it's a bit short for Eric. So we're going to start that. I don't think we'll do it all today because we were absolutely shattered off yesterday. I was like non-stop from like 9 till like 5:30 yesterday on gardening. Longest shift I've ever done. So I'm a bit sore. But at least we're going to make a start of it as well. And Eric's going to brace the middle part of the wood together. He's going to find some brackets now. So I'm just going to mark this out first. The good thing about this is it's actually quite soft. So there's not much effort in digging it out because this used to be a working bed before. So Eric's saying what we're going to do with the soil that we dig out of here. And I just said put it in that bed next door. See, I'm starting to get tired now. We're only digging down about a foot and a half. And to be fair, I think digging the trench out for this last week wasn't that bad. So even if we make a start on this like this will be a job less to do. We can do it another day when we're feeling a bit fitter. So I've dug so far out, I filled one compost bag, can't see it, with what I dug out. But there's still a load to go. So Eric's got to find a pot because, like I say, this soil is like mint. We don't know what's been grown in it in the past. But it's really, really good soil. So he's going to find a pot just so I can scrape up what I've loosened there, put it in a pot, and then he's going to put it at the top so it's in a permanent spot because it is heavy. It's proper, like, good stuff. There's a bed here as well, I'm thinking, where I had the tatties last year, it's dropped quite a lot. So I'm thinking maybe put some in there. We are worried about weeds because if you remember when we first got this plot, it took us a day and a bit to like clear everything of that horrible stuff. I forget what it was. Willow herb. It was covered in willow herb and other weeds. But I suppose we'll see what it's like. But if it's in a pot, the weeds are more controllable. But I'll have a chat with Eric now and see what he thinks about putting it over there. So we've come up with a plan. The soil that's in here I'm going to put in the wheelbarrow. Some of it's going to go over into that bed and top that up. We will mark that as well so we know where the soil's come from. There's another 2 beds at the bottom of that. And yesterday we said that we were going to put sweet corn in the first bed because I've only got 5 mini sweet corn, 5 or 6. I don't know if I'll get any more or not because I'm not very good at growing sweet corn. But Eric's put some in the pot up there. I don't know what we're going to put in that yet. but I'm sure there'll be other pots that we can put this soil in. I don't envy anybody who digs. Like, why would you want to do that? It's just, no. Eric's just been digging out some weeds in that bed, just giving it a rake over, and then we're going to top it up with this soil that I've dug out. Oh, there's some weight in this, like. God, why is this so heavy? Right, I've dug out as much as I can. I know doesn't look as if I've done a lot, but I've scraped what was up the top bit and I've put it here ready to go somewhere. We need to find places for them, but Eric doesn't really want to put them in pots because it weighs a ton, absolutely weighs a ton. So we'll have to come up with some other plan. But we're going to finish this off next week. So that's it, another productive day. I'm actually going down to my mum's now to help her out with her little bit garden out the back. She's been growing her own veg and stuff for a lot longer than us, but she's struggling, so I said I would pop down and give her a hand today. I'm also going to take the lawn leveling rake because she's just got one big lot of soil that she puts all our crops in, so we're going to help level all that off and give it a good rake over. We've got the tatties in, we've got onions in, we've got carrots, flowers, peas, leeks, bit of everything going on today. And then obviously the polytunnel, Eric's done a fab job of that, but he forgot the hammer, so he can't finish off, and he nearly lost a finger. He stood here behind, like going like this, and nearly lost a finger. Yeah. That ambulance that came past before, we should have just given him a shout and just says, can you wait here a minute? He really does have my heart on edge, like, don't you? Yeah. But he hasn't lost any fingers today, which is a good thing. So I'm going to crack on, like I say, down with mum's, and we'll see you in the next one. So don't forget, give us a like, a thumbs up in the comments, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.